Rachelsey at the movies! And here we are, after the movies, to talk about the movie we just saw, The BlacKkKlansman.
Yes.
And you know, The BlacKkKlansman, this isn't a movie that we would typically go see.
Right.
In that this movie is on the artsy side of things, I think. So it's a Spike Lee film.
Yeah.
And it's more what I would term as a Rachel movie.
We reserved action movies for going
That's just
out
who
to
we
the
are,
theater.
you know?
Unless like a movie was just like over the top and like really felt like we need to see it.
Or like Marvel movies or like Star Wars movies. Like, that's who we are. But this movie appealed to us because Spike Lee does make great films. We have the AMC A-list pass, so we get to see 3 movies a week. The plot was intriguing. The reviews were great for this movie.
Yeah, so I had good reviews, and the idea was, you know, based on a true story of a black cop who infiltrated the KKK.
Yeah.
So that's like the, you know, gist of the movie, and I thought that was intriguing. They did a really good job with the poster, so having the, like, you know, their lead in the white hood, and he was holding an Afro pick. Like, I thought the whole, like, visuals for the marketing were also really good.
I really enjoyed most of the movie. I thought that, you know, Spike Lee always makes pretty much, he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I love the actor.
We later found out is Denzel Washington's oldest son.
Yeah, what a fantastic job he did. Yeah. Like, the whole time, the movie was fun at times it was dark. It really moved you through the emotions. And there were only a couple times in the film where I was like, I don't know why he's making this, like tying this in, right? Or I don't understand what even this scene is supposed to add to the movie. But that was very few. Like, overall, the movie was really excellently made. I was really happy with going to see it. I was glad I went and saw the movie.
Yeah, so me too. It was well made, written well, the script was good, acting was really good. So for me, there were a few like really artsy scenes where I was like, why are these people like their heads kind of floating around with the like dark behind it? I was like, I didn't get that. Like, I don't know what he was trying to convey with that, but maybe I'm just not, you know, educated enough in movie making to understand that. But overall, like, he did what he set out to do, which was to tell the story of this cop. So Ron Stallworth, he wrote a book, I think in 2014, detailing this undercover operation he took on, and Spike Lee told the story. And Spike Lee told the story with a purpose. So Spike Lee wants to shine light on the struggle of the African American people, and so he used this story to do that, and he succeeded in that.
Yeah.
Go, wait, or skip.
I'm gonna say go to this movie. It's a thought-provoking movie. I mean, let's face it, a lot of this movie is what I would term propaganda. It goes beyond what you would hope would be the intent of this movie. It's around Spike Lee's personal political views. I'll say that. But we all should listen to each other. I think it's a good opportunity, whatever side of the aisle you're on, go and watch this movie and really just take it in for what it is. Spike Lee has the right and the duty almost to present his worldview, and I think that it's really important so that we can all gain understanding of what we're all dealing with.
So for me, I would also say go see this movie. It's really well made. And all the things I said before about why it's good. And on top of that, I think that it's good to maybe broaden your own worldview by seeing things that you wouldn't normally see. So I think it's good to hear like somebody else's like views. So you definitely hear Spike Lee's views in this movie. Spoilers!
Spoilers! Yeah, so I feel like the thing that kept me from loving this movie as much as I could have was that Spike Lee clearly had a political agenda, a current political agenda, yes, that he was really driving home with like statements like alluding to like America being great again and stuff like that, which has nothing to do with this movie back, okay? So he's clearly doing that. It wasn't that it was in the movie. It was that it was so overt, and I hate whatever side you're on in anything. And if I go to the movies, I don't want to see it. I already understand that a lot of what I see at the movies is propaganda for this side or this side or this cause or this cause. I already get that. It happens on television too. That's fine. If you can make a great story and slide
your... do it well. Like,
do it well.
When it's over the top and in your face that I don't like to feel like I'm being manipulated.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like that. Now, on Spike Lee's side, I want to say that part of his worldview is underrepresented. And that's the black community. It goes beyond that, I think. Yeah. Into like a political realm where I'm like, you're not underrepresented here. You don't have to be so overt. You're actually overrepresented. So it's frustrating if you overtly beat me over the head with something, whatever it is, I'm probably going to resent you for it.
For me, what I would point out is that this is based on a true story, but the true part of it is Ron Stallworth, and that he undertook, by happenstance, like started an investigation into the KKK in Colorado. That's it. So any drama added to his story in the movie was fictional. So no arrests were made. There was no bombing. People didn't die. Like, that didn't happen. He has a girlfriend in the movie, which I understand why you want to have like a love interest, but she was part of a like beginning Black Panther movement. That did not happen. So these things were definitely added to like further like this vision that Spike Lee wanted to put out there in the movie. And so it's always important when you see a movie that's based on a true story. I go to this website called like Hollywood versus History, and they detail like fact and fiction. So that's what I did with this movie, and I think that that's important because when a movie says that it's based on a true story, it is normal for the audience to be like, oh, that is crazy. I can't believe that happened. Yeah. When in reality, all those details in the movie, you don't actually know that that happened. Yeah. And so some of the details in this movie didn't happen like that.
I mean, I could talk about this movie for probably like an hour. Because there's a lot in this movie, and a lot that he did really well. And there's stuff that I know that he did on purpose that he knows that he did. Like, I think the movie deals a lot with propaganda, but I know that he's smart enough to know that what he's
doing is also propaganda. Thing. Yeah. So, like, in the movie, they show a really old black and white movie that was... it was a piece of propaganda that
made black people look like animals and white people seem wholesome.
Who were scared and running from them, and it had it had white people in the movie watching this and like cheering for it. But then at the same, in a way, this movie was dehumanizing the members of the KKK, and so and that might be hard for people to hear, but members of the KKK are also human beings. So it doesn't...
It's just the same thing. I don't think it works either way.
Right the wrong by treating KKK members like they're animals. That's not going to right any wrong. Like, we have to treat all humans like humans. So
he deserves to make this movie. Obviously, it's not about deserves, but he has the right, and it's, even if you think about it, kind of fair, right? But at the same time, it's not. I don't feel like a real solution to any of the world's problems.
Right.
And some of the stuff they brought in at the end where they were showing current day clips of things, of political things. What this movie says is that anybody that's a Republican or voted for Donald Trump is a KKK member or knows one. And that is complete and utter bullshit. It's such a small part of society, and there's so many small crazy groups in our society that we could show clips of any small crazy group and pretend that they're the majority, and that's simply not the case. So it's frustrating to me. Anyway, listen, this movie is a really good movie, and I think it's a great movie to see because it will challenge you perhaps on how you think about the world, and then you can determine for yourself what's fact and fiction. And I think that's all a movie can do.
Yeah.